Hello and welcome. I am your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully. I'd like to thank our sponsors at Procyon Partners. Procyon, one of the top 50 fastest growing companies in the nation. They specialize in employee benefits, wealth management, and retirement planning. President Sean Rabinowitz, proud supporter of our podcast network and everything we do. Green Street Trust International, owned and operated by Rennell Jump and UConn legendary men's basketball player Jake Voskuhl. They specialize in tax plans for businesses large or small. They will save you money or get you a big fat return on your taxes. To schedule your free strategic tax planning session today, go to www.greenstreettrust.com. Pete Finch and the Finch Law Firm is located in Bridgeport, Connecticut. If you've suffered any type of personal injury, slip and fall, car accident, your mother-in-law ran you over with her car, your wife got angry one night and decided to stab you, the Finch Firm is for you. Pete has won legal battles all across the state of Connecticut. He will go to war to get every dollar you deserve in compensation. You just have to remember, in a pinch, call Finch or go to his website, thefinchfirm.com. Dynamic Human Performance is owned and operated by UConn legendary running back Andre Dixon. He trains boys and girls of all ages, all sports. He has a boot camp program 7 days a week, 6 a.m. You want to get in shape, you go to Andre. He has an athletic development program where he trains boys and girls in the sport of their choice from the ground up, helps them reach their full potential, be the best they can possibly be. Andre has sent boys and girls to college on scholarship for all different types of sports. To work with the best, he has a 5,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility in Hartford, Connecticut. Go to www.dynamichumanperformance.com. All right, and here we are with the man himself, Razul Wallace, the CEO and real estate mogul. House of Changes he runs, giving back to the community in Norwich, Connecticut. I'm Steve Cully, the best podcast host in the universe. Razul, love to see that smile. How are you?
What's up, Cully? From your mouth to God's ears, right?
Just as Rob Hill would say to me, life and death is in the power of the tongue.
I hear that.
That's what he always says to me. That's what he always says. And he also said the same thing that you and Ja both basically said to me. He does not like negative self-talk. So I'm trying to break out of that.
Yes.
How was your trip, first of all?
It was good. It was very interesting. I'll say that.
Very interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to get too into it, but I mean, was it personal? Was it business? I mean, is he family?
No, we were celebrating my dad's 70th birthday party.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, no, it was really good.
God, he looks so freaking young.
My dad?
Yeah.
No, he does. He looks good.
He looks really so young.
And I'm actually like pretty close with my dad, and we're very similar. But
yeah,
we always butt heads on like, and I feel like it's like a generational thing on like how to operate and do things, you know?
Well, listen, for what you're doing now, I'm sure he's proud of you. I mean,
yeah,
to build your own business, to give back like this with the House of Changes and how you have grown in the real estate market, what you're doing with the project in Norwich. I mean, that's a lot of success. Those are a lot of wins.
Yeah.
So where would you say that you think he butts heads with you on with just with how you, with projects you take on or parenting or?
It's funny because it's like we have the same ultimate beliefs, right? On
Yeah, of course.
world, right? It's just we differ in almost everything, in like how you go about doing
how to get there.
Yeah.
So you have the same goals, but you're just saying you have the path that you would take to get there. He has the path that he thinks is right to get there.
Right.
I see that. It is a generational thing. It is a generational thing.
Can I give you some examples? Just because.
Please, I would love to hear some examples.
So, like and this is from personal experience that I've had this. The first one is the first two family that I owned. I said the kitchen in the other unit, I lived in one, and the kitchen in the other unit needed to be renovated, but needed some work. And at that time, the cost of the work was about $4,000, right? Which is like nothing today to do a kitchen, and that included the labor.
No, that's cheap now. Yeah.
Right? And I said, I'm going to save myself the money, and I'm going to do the work myself, right? But at the time, I was working, and I was doing like overtime. So it took me basically 8 months to get to doing that work myself. And at the time, that unit was renting for about $1,000 a month. So that 8 months cost me $8,000.
So
I could
saying,
save myself the time and energy and pay the man the $4,000, save myself a bunch of time and energy, and been positive $4,000. So I said,
it's funny you say that.
Right. I recognize that, and I said, I will not overvalue money because time is more valuable than money.
That we on Laban's show yesterday, that is exactly what Nedvan was talking about. The value of time and how so many people don't put a value on it, but your time is valuable. Your time is money. And if there are certain things, certain services, like with his Fresh Fold Laundry Company, that you can do, I mean, he wants people who value their time. I mean, how long you spend on laundry each week, you're getting it done for you, wash, dried, fold, deliver. Not even doing a spot yet. Wash, dried, fold, delivered for you without leaving work, without having to do anything extra. And that's for people who value time. And when you get to a certain point in your life, your time is worth a lot. You cannot be wasting any of it because, like he said, I mean, Laban too, I'm only 24 hours in a day, man. Can't make him long. Can't add any more onto it. That's all we get. And you got to get your rest. You know, you got to spend time with the family. So you have to be so efficient in your career with what you're doing, with what you're getting done. So, yeah, it's just funny that you mentioned that. We'll come back, I think. We hope we'll come back. That's Razul. He sometimes has a bad connection. Or I said something funny. But yeah, he'll come back. But no, he's absolutely right. Laban and Nedvan were talking yesterday about the value of time and the value of, okay, there he is. Yeah. All right, you're good. No, you're good. Sorry. It's just funny because Laban and Nedvan were talking about that yesterday, about a similar thing where, they were talking about a tenant who could possibly offer to paint the walls or do some flooring if you knocked it off some money off their rent for a period. And they said for the cost and for the time for me to do it, it's worth it. It's worth it when you get to a certain point. And I didn't mean to air out your business, but I just mentioned how you guys got together as the investment group, and we're talking about your next project and stuff. And they were saying that just that's phenomenal that we have a Husky investment group, and it shows that UConn alumni are being successful enough to collaborate, to go into business together, to invest together. And there's so many different ways to go. And they were just talking about having good organization. People know their roles. And if you have people who bring different roles to the table, that helps. Like, someone's good at marketing. Someone's good at, fixing up a house, doing renovations, things. Someone knows people in the neighborhood that you're looking to buy. So they said that is very, very good to have, because everything can bring something to the table, just as long as you have a clear-cut understanding of what that role is and you stay in your lane, because that's it. That's the only thing that can cause issues. And when guys don't stay in their lane and they want to get involved in other aspects, and that can cause friction. So that's what they were saying. But it's similar, time is money. So what your dad had said, did he agree? Like, yeah, you just should have paid and gotten the flooring done?
No, he
so
right
now he thought you procrastinated and didn't do it.
No. Because for me, I would pay to get it done.
Okay, I got you.
He likes to do everything himself, and
steadfastly, yes.
And I think
that's generational. That's
I think so.
I would agree with that.
It is, but also, like, I don't.
But he doesn't try to tell you what you should be doing. I mean, I'm sure he's because I've met him. I mean, your mother is more like my mom, will just come in and give you her opinion whether you like it or not. Like, I don't see your dad doing that unless he's asked. Like, if you approach him.
The only thing he says is that he always feels like I pay too much to have everything done. And
really?
Yeah, because that's the way he does it. Is he rather pay someone who doesn't have? He wants to get like the bottom lowest price you can get.
I know.
But with that, that's the results that you get.
That's the quality you're going to get. Yeah.
Right. So then he's like frustrated, or he like has to be like coaching or present, telling them everything. And I'm like, it's not worth it. I'd rather pay a little bit.
It's not worth the frustration. No, it's not.
It's not.
It's not. I agree with you 100%. And that's another thing we talked about yesterday with renovations being done. And, Laban and Nedvan both said they have had it rare where they've had an estimate, and the estimate has been on point or under. They said it always ends up being a little bit over. And sometimes it's for good reasons. Other times it's for not so good reasons, but that's the risk you take with it, because you can never predict these renovations. You can never predict what problems are going to arise. So that can change the bottom line right before you know it. And that's very difficult to deal with. But I completely understand, your dad's mindset. My dad, same thing, successful attorney now. He drives a used Mercedes from 12 years ago. He will get the 99-cent coffee just because he grew up just not spending money and didn't have a lot of money and did everything on his own. So, I mean, he's the same way. I mean, he would fix it himself too. He would rather do that instead of spend $4,000. My mother's the opposite. My mother would spend the $4,000 and get it over with. Right. So yeah, I completely understand that. But so you had just happened to have a conversation with him about the renovation, and he said, "Do it yourself and save the money."
So this is because like I respect his, because I'm at a point in my career,
Yeah.
life, business, where I'm looking to create inefficiencies to grow.
You
So
want your money to work for you. Yes.
right. And I feel like I'm like hyper aware of in this, whenever we take on a new property, consider any new investment opportunity, what the day-to-day management is going to look like, right? How much of my time is going to require, having a line item in the budget for whoever that person is going to be, if it's not me or someone from the organization. So it's a constant consideration for me with anything that I do. But with my dad, like, and I would leave him be, right? I'm not trying to, like, I know he's older, he's kind of set in his ways. He feels like he's not looking to grow the way that I am, right? But where there becomes like conflict is he kind of feels like, as his son or kids,
you're not listening.
No, he feels like we should be helping him because that's going to be our inheritance, right? And for me, I'm like, Dad, the amount of work and help that you want is not just, a day for a couple hours here or there. He wants and needs like a full-time employee, essentially. And I'm like, Dad, so I could grow my own business.
What is he? What kind of? I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
He owns real estate also, right?
Okay. Now I get it. So you're okay. If you're both in real estate, two completely different philosophies.
Yeah.
Now I get it. Okay.
But the things that he's trying to get me to do for him, I'm like, Dad, I don't do these things for myself.
Yeah.
Right. I pay people to do these because I don't have the time or bandwidth, and I'd rather be doing these revenue generating activities more so than the management and maintenance. So I pay people to do that so that I can focus on things that are going to increase the revenue, right? And he feels either
does he own like rental properties?
He does.
So, okay. So this is one thing I know this because I've talked to Laban and Nedvon for the last 2 years. Does he have a property manager or a good property manager?
Oh, no. Not at all.
He would never do that.
What?
He would. Okay. No, listen, they both talked about the importance of having a good property manager because, you may have to pay for it, but in the end, the time that it's going to save you is huge. I mean, if you're active in real estate and you have to also manage those rental properties, something breaks down, something needs to be fixed, collecting rent, it takes up significant portions of your day. And that's why Laban is so happy with his property manager that he's had for a while. He's like family. Yeah. Laban, they have a big property management division. So he will tell you up and down that a good property manager is the way to go. So if your dad is taking that on himself or he's asking, for help from you, and I get he's saying because this is your inheritance, it's just there's no way you can do it you're running a 501c nonprofit organization. You have a major project in Norwich. You're working with the investment group and you're always looking to buy and sell properties. I mean, you can't go and give him 2 hours of your day. I mean, and I know that you're a son and he trusts you and relies on you. And that generation, that's how it was. I mean, their kids, my parents took care of their parents. They did everything for them. So I get it. I mean, that's how it was. Now, would my parents expect that out of me? Absolutely not, because I'm incapable of doing anything like that. But they know better. Just a quick funny story. Sean Rabinowitz came here. You know, I told you about the woman I was having, Trisha, the Woman of Impact campaign. I had her meet with you guys about fundraising. I did a fundraiser. Sean was doing business. Sean Rabinowitz was traveling through. He was in Pittsburgh, Niagara, Erie, and he said, "Cully, I'd like to stop and see you on my way back, because driving on 90, it goes right by Utica." I tell him, "Listen, the GPS is going to tell you to get off this exit. Get off this exit. It's a shortcut." So I forget that he's coming from the west, not the east. I gave him the wrong exit number. I make him drive 15 miles outside of Utica. We're late to the event. He picks me up. He's all happy and everything, and he was great. He was only able to stay for an hour, but he's like, "Cully, just so you know, I could have shot you." I said, "Yep, I know." And then we were talking about it yesterday. He goes, "You know, to be truthful, Frank's food," because the place we went was Frank, another one of my podcast hosts. He said, "Frank's food was so good that saved you." It's like, you just because he had 2 big plates of food at the buffet, that saved us. But my parents know enough. Steven's probably not the right guy to come to with anything substantial. So is your dad's business in Connecticut? Does he do real estate in Connecticut?
That's the other thing. He's in New York.
So it's in Long Island, right? Or
he's in Brooklyn. His property's in Brooklyn, New York. But at this point, we've got enough of understanding to understand each other to some degree. So he doesn't. It's usually like if I'm in New York visiting, that he'll be like, "Hey, give me a hand with this thing," right? And it's always way longer than he thinks.
Yeah, I just need you for 10 minutes, and it's 2 hours later.
In this instance, he was having this really big 70th birthday celebration.
Yeah,
there was a bunch of work, like in addition to just planning for the event, just to get because he has a nice size house and yard there. He's done well for himself. He's resourceful. He's smart. I have a lot of love and respect for him. So I'm not trying to take anything away from him. I'm just saying we have a very different way of like.
It's generational, man. I'd love to hear his thoughts on AI.
No, so he's mad smart. He has a degree in electrical engineering, but he became a New York City cop. He knows enough to basically have been a GC to build his whole house from the ground up. He knows how to do like solar, the electrical, he's a smart guy. I think he's probably smarter than me in many ways, but I think when it comes to just the scaling of the business, he's kind of set in the sole proprietor mindset where I'm looking to like grow a business.
So I mean, you would say that he probably lacks in efficiency with how he manages his time, and he could be doing more if he was more efficient. And does he own like just a number of properties?
So he owns
rentals. Rentals.
He owns 2 properties. That's a total of about 8 units in New York, and then some land in Guyana. And with that, but at the same time, he doesn't really need for much, and he's very simple. He's very simple.
Yep.
And he doesn't like need it. So I generally try to kind of like be like, all right, obviously, you live how you want and operate the way you want. But I think the biggest challenge is when I get pulled into it and I'm like, have to do these things because he wants this done this way, but I'm like, this doesn't make sense. I don't want to.
Well, how does it happen with you getting pulled in? Is it
so like this? So
Okay.
on this trip, when we were helping to do the work at the house, there was a lot of inefficiencies.
You were doing work at his house on the
Yeah,
70th birthday. Jesus Christmas.
right. So
Who
and
are you working with?
he's like a hoarder too. So like he just keeps a bunch of junk that is not just taking up space, but all that stuff has weight, like mental and emotional drag on it. So
Huge.
he has this truck in the yard that it could be sold and he get like like maybe $5,000. But if he ever uses that truck, I will be surprised. But he's
So
holding
that
on.
truck hasn't like turned on in years.
No, it hasn't. To move it, you got to go through this whole ordeal to get it out. But it has value. People have offered him money to buy it.
I'm sure.
And fix it. And then within the truck, there's a whole bunch of like just debris and
Everywhere.
useful stuff. The garage had all of these, like there was some useful wood mixed within it, but then there was a bunch of old beat up wood that had termites and wood ants that were essentially just not only going to destroy that, but to me it seemed like they could potentially destroy the structure that was there. And
They
I have,
don't
a
understand code.
cousin who invests in business, who's a business entrepreneur also in Guyana, who one day went there when he wasn't around, cleared it out for him completely, had all that junk out and was going to go dump it. But as he's pulling out of the driveway, my dad pulls out, has the truck up, and offload everything back into the garage. But then for this event, we had to go and do all that again, right? And that was probably like a day's worth of work from like 3
You're
to 4
saying just moving the shit out and then you had to move it back in.
So my cousin moved it out and my dad had to move back in, but then we spent another day during this whole process clearing all this stuff out. So for me, like those inefficiencies like that, just a huge waste of time and energy.
It is. And it's frustrating.
It's frustrating because it's like, we could.
I just know you can't live like that. I mean, I know because of so much you're doing. Every minute that you have is in use. Yeah. So I know that you can't, like, taking that much time for that is mind-boggling because your time is so valuable and you're involved in so many different things and you're trying to grow and expand with everything you're doing. So doing something like that, it's a big ask. And would you say it's more expected of you or asked?
It's funny you say that because I was just thinking, so for me I ultimately I appreciate it, right? Because I reframe it as time with my dad. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. Right.
But I think in like when the party was done, because we went right from like cleaning and preparing, getting it ready just in time, because when you get condensed, when you get condensed with time, you just become more efficient. You cut out what's not necessary and you focus on what's absolutely necessary, and then you get it done when you have a deadline. And then we right from the work of getting ready for the party, ran upstairs, took a shower real quick, like a 5-minute shower, got dressed for the party, and then right into like bartending and serving for the guests and all that. So by 1:30, he had a party at his 60th birthday. On his 60th birthday, we had a blast. We stayed up until like partying until noon the next day.
Yeah, you guys know how to party.
People were in the pool with their full formal outfits. You know what I mean? It was a great time. We were anticipating that, and we still had fun, but it didn't go until noon the next day. I was just so tired that by 1:30 a.m. I just crashed and went to bed.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But I believe Dad enjoyed it, and I do enjoy it.
Let me ask you this. When you got there, were you expecting to have to do this work?
Yes. No, my dad.
Oh, you were. Okay.
He didn't tell us, though. But me and my brother.
Didn't prepare you. Okay.
But me and my brother know him, and we joked about it.
Something's going to be...
So
Yeah.
when I walked into the house, all I could do is laugh, and I just texted my brother because my brother was coming a few days after. And what we call it dad shenanigans, basically. So I just texted him shenanigans when I got to the house. But it wasn't it was still more than I expected, but I was mentally prepared for it. And I just was like, you know what? We got
Yeah.
time. I'm just gonna put my head down and do what we can to make sure, do whatever we can to be ready, you know? And we had fun along the way. Like my dad's a cool guy.
He's
He's like,
very cool. Yeah.
yeah, he's a cool guy. So he's fun to be around, and he knows how to have a good time. He's just a huge pain in the ass sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, believe me. I mean, that's how it is. You have it spot on where it's a generational thing, and they're set in their ways with how they do things, and there's for him to did he end up retiring as a cop?
He did. He did.
So he retired as a cop and then got into real estate, or was doing real estate on the side.
He was doing it on the side. So he was a cop.
And so he was. That's really smart. Then I mean,
Yeah.
he was. He's. That's where you get your entrepreneurial spirit right there. The fact that he did that. Let me jump and get this out of the way, and we will be right back. I'll ask you some more fun questions. Down south, we have Julius Williams, Jordan Harris, and the rest of the team of the Trench Mob. They train offensive and defensive linemen. They compete in 5v5 tournaments and college showcase camps all across the country. They have sent kids to schools like Florida, Florida State, Miami, Clemson, Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, just to name a few. They have sent the highest percentage of kids who work with them to Division I schools on scholarship. To work with the best, go to trenchmobfootball.com. Ned Von Young runs the Fresh Fold Laundry Company in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, a high-end laundry service. You book online, put your laundry out in a clear plastic bag. They pick it up, wash, dry, and fold it for you in 48 hours. They also offer an expedited service if you need that as well. They have an online subscription model, weekly or bi-weekly, where you can get your laundry done that way. They offer deals for college students. So if you want your laundry done, you can do it in your own dorm. They have a pickup and now a delivery service. So you can have your laundry done without leaving the comfort of your own home or dorm room. To sign up, go to their website, my-freshfold.com. All right. So when did you get back from your trip?
Yesterday.
It was yesterday. That's right.
Like just in time for more experience.
So I got right. That's right. You had the other pillar, right? And I heard that's going very, very well. I heard that from somebody else too. So congratulations on that. How's everything in the house been? Are you still standing strong with 8?
We're still standing strong with 8.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah, thanks. I'm excited. It's been pretty positive right now. Like I told you, we still have a wait list, and we are trying to figure out now like how we can support more people. I'm not quite ready to acquire something else yet, but we have some potential partners around town, like one other like contract, like I don't know how comfortable he'd feel with me sharing his name and info or not yet, but I'll just say he owns property and does and is a general contractor, and he has a house similar to ours, and he does a lot of work. He owns a number of properties, but we've been communicating on collaborating to be able to do a little bit more. So I think figuring out how we'll be able to do that is pretty cool.
Yeah. That's what you need, because you're building so much goodwill, at least in Norwich, in the area. That's huge. And more people are going to open their doors and want to work with you or collaborate with you or help the men in the house. And that's what you need. That's really what you need to really get in good with the community. And you are. I mean, you're doing a service to the community, because most of these guys would be on the streets if they didn't have a place like yours. Now, I also, I talked to Ned Vaughn because he knows everything. There are grants. We have to get you grants, because there are several that fund this, that will, because he said it's similar to like the VA. If they housing for VA, they pay for beds. So the website I sent you for the grants, but I mean, you have to have, Ashley could probably do it, getting the application right so you get enough money, because you should get paid per room, per bed that you fill. And I think that would, imagine if you got $400 a room per month, that would be nice.
It would be. That would be nice. It would help us.
Yeah.
And we'd probably be able to offset that cost for a lot of guys, make it more affordable for them too. Exactly.
So that is the one thing that I want to try to work on and help with, because, I talked to a few other places, and they all were shocked that you're not getting state money or any money from the county or anything, because 501Cs that do sober living get money for the beds that they fill. The other thing, and I've asked you this before, you don't put 2 to a room, correct?
I do put 2 to a room.
You do? Okay, so you are putting 2 to a room, except there's one room and that's Marcus's room, or there's one room that has the 1 bed, right?
Correct.
Okay. And I asked you this as well about the basement. There's no way that the basement could be furnished or modeled.
I don't think that. It's just, not to say there's no way, right? It's possible, but
the cost,
and
return is not enough.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
No, I agree. If it's too much time and effort, and you're not going to get a big ROI on it, then I wouldn't do it. Have you guys talked any more about doing a fundraiser?
We have. It's just we've been so busy that we have not been able to sit down, start to plan and organize on.
Would it strictly for the House of Changes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And is it the board that you would sit down with and make decisions with how to put it together, or where to have it at the same place or not?
I think so. Maybe committees. I think a lot of the times there's committees within the board, and I think that we actually have our board has a lot of potential. It's just that everybody is so busy.
I know they are. I know. Well, you have a lot of important people on your board, and it's a big board. It's a big board. So that's the biggest thing. And I've asked you this before. We want to give you the bandwidth to where you can hire someone to either be an assistant to you or do something in case management along those lines. That's how you can expand this thing. Like Fresh was saying, you should take this because you've shown a successful model, lasting as long as you have, and you've done it while beds have not been full without any state money. So when the faucets get turned on and you start getting state aid and all that, then you will be able to, you could open up anywhere. So I would definitely look into that. And I will as well. I come out there. I'm going to look into the application process. But I am going to come next week. I will hopefully be able to get you Thursday or Friday for the podcast once I find out where the studio is. It's somewhere around you. And we'll go from there. But I know you have training this weekend. Have fun with that. And I know the kids are on spring break in Connecticut, right? Or no, Jersey. Dave's kids were.
I think next week they are.
All right. Well, great job as always. You knocked it out of the park on the last show. So I can't believe your viewership. So we'll keep working, and remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges, throw them right back at life.